Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Try Call of Cthulhu. So if you've been keeping up with us so far, we did get an hour and a half worth of gameplay in the first video, which you can check out. I will put the card in the video somewhere. And it was an interesting experience because we had some police notes that didn't have a lot of information. We have this investigation that we are going on, which requires us to look into what could potentially be arson, and a whole family dying in the fire, and we are investigating more about the details with that, although it's been apparently 3 or 4 months in game time since the death happened to now when we are investigating. So we are going to continue forward with our gameplay. And I decided to do it a little bit differently where you can actually see me talking at the beginning intro screen, because I felt like it needed a bit more pep than just the intro screen without having any sort of context or anything like that. So I decided to add this, and hopefully that is much better for you as a viewer. So we're just gonna get right into it here. I have moved myself, and you now have gameplay music. So load game. So Pierce took the Hawken case. The cursed artist is accused of having caused the fire that killed her and her family. As the only clue, she left her father a disturbing painting on the shipping label and address, a warehouse set on the docks of the island of Darkwater. The place seems to be the starting point for Pierce's investigation. And as you can see, Darkwater is such a lovely, pleasant place that has basically been abandoned. The people that live there pretty much keep to themselves, and during the time of Prohibition, miraculously still have alcohol, so yay for that. I feel like our character will probably require a lot of alcohol as we go through this. Right, so we are in the bar. I remember that we talked to him, and I was trying not to tell him the reason we were here in case he would get pissed off. And unfortunately, because we don't control exactly what characters say in video games, we told him outright, and that is unfortunate. So the next thing is to talk to Fitzroy, because we've already talked to the bartender to get some information. We know that the cops, or at least the cop that's outside with the whale, is not going to tell us jack shit, because that's just the sort of person he is. So we do have 1 point to spend that I'm going to hold off on for now. I want to see if I can find more. I'm very glad that at the beginning of the game I decided to put at least a point into occultism, because I know that it's going to become key in this investigation. I do like that we have character profiles of the people that you meet as you go through this. I'm still very curious about that painting. Alright, so I also do want to see if there's anything else useful here. There's a woman we can talk to. Oh, we can even, like, go outside and stuff. Cool. let's talk to this lady.
What are you looking at,
there
stranger?
There we go. So, alright, we'll go with what is a woman like you doing in a place like this?
Is predominantly male.
Tell me something I don't know.
No.
I meant nothing by it. I'm just wondering what a woman like you is doing in this flea trap.
And I'm wondering what could be going through the head of the chump who goes to disturb her. Let me drink, stranger.
How nice of you. So, you tell us nothing. That's fine. Just, it tends to be that at least at this time period, you were less likely to have many women going out to drink, and it takes a certain kind of person to go to, a pub like this, especially on this kind of awful island. But basically, you've also got to assume that she is tough as nails to be here as well. So I was kind of hoping to get insight as to the type of person she is by talking to her, but apparently that was not going to be a thing.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
Alright, what is this
I've
song?
never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it.
Oh.
It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
It's a local legend?
Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah.
Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report.
What report?
The one that's framed right behind you. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
I was just about to say, they look a little bit too young. If we're set in the 1920s, and this was 1867 that saved Darkwater, I'm like, you guys are way too young to, know of this unless, something, tipped you off, or, your parents or grandparents would have been singing it. And also keep in mind that the lifespan of people during this time period was not nearly as long. So that is another reason why I was like, hold on a second. So let's go with this.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes.
Whoops.
There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
It almost feels like to me that the whales decided they were going to get the fuck out of here. And they had one more batch to taunt the humans and then just poof. That's probably not true at all, but it almost feels like it. It's like you had one amazing, catch in history, and then they're all gone.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
So, obviously they're talking about that. What's this guy doing?
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader.
That doesn't sound good. I wonder why he's researching that.
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
Apparently. So, the Scylla returns to port to save Darkwater from famine. We had given up hope the crew of Scylla, or what remains of it, returned to Darkwater port late on Tuesday afternoon. The locals immediately rushed to the docks to welcome the last whaling ship on the island. People were amazed at the sight of the unbelievable catch the brave vessel had on board. Of a size that went beyond that of the formidable toothed whale, the citizen, I think, that is already being called the miraculous catch, covered the whole deck, and parts of it were hanging over the side of the ship. The surviving sailors told a frightening account of their perilous catch, but also of its meat unmatched in its quality and plentiful nutritious benefits. There is no doubt that the immense size of this whale will allow numerous inhabitants of Darkwater to feed themselves, bringing an end to the famine from which part of the island was suffering. And then there was a warehouse for rent, for fishing and storage activities. You can contact him, so I wonder if that has something to do with just the haunting and whatnot. You know, things are starting to make a little bit more sense if that's true. And then special event at the Stranded Whale to celebrate the return of our brave whalers. All the staff, of the Stranded Whale invite you to an exceptional and free tasting event. Come with your family or with friends to taste the miraculous catch. Each person will leave with a bottle of oil, so don't hesitate. Yes, because whales are not only known for the food, but also for the oil that you can get from it, and depending on the whale, you could also use the teeth, and a few other things. And back during then, if they were following proper hunting principles, you wanted to make sure that you used as much of the animals as possible. It is something that Native Americans will also use as well, which is to, when they hunt, to respect the animal that you have killed and to make sure that you use all parts of it, because you don't want waste. And you also don't want to hunt too much, because not only will you put a strain on the environment and you could drive creatures to extinction, but also to make sure that you're respectful of the other people in the area as well. So you wanted to make sure not to to hunt too much. And that's true even to this day. There's reasons why you have to have like hunting licenses or fishing licenses in order to do these things. And there's a specific time of year in which you can hunt, and there are specific creatures that you are allowed to hunt, and all of that is a result of the fact that our population is constantly exponentially growing, and that we are consuming far more, or killing far more than we consume as a society. So when you talk about things like we still have a homeless problem in a lot of places, it's not because we don't have the food or the resources to maintain these people. It's because of the way our system is designed to block people out from getting access to things. Oh, is that an occult element? No, okay. I'm not sure how it... I was pretty sure I clicked on all of those things. Cool. Okay, so we don't have to, like, take notes necessarily. See, it pays to sometimes, you know, talk to the patrons.
You have no right to treat us like this.
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My God.
You said
Actually, this might not be bad if they work at the asylum.
He'll do it again, you know.
Oh.
The girl doctor, Colden. She won't stop asking.
Not that again. She will get us into trouble.
I know.
Can I talk to you people? If you work at the asylum, I want to know things. Apparently not. They're just gonna stare at us.
And then he said, you have no right to treat us like this.
And the doctor, what did he
Alright, so.
He laughed.
My God.
I'm thinking actually I might go out the back door. Just in case. Oh. I was hoping for some extra clues. Oh well. Alrighty then. Do we not close the door after ourselves? Jeez. Okay. So I think we looked at this before.
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
Yeah, I was pretty sure we looked at that before. Okay, so I know that we have to go to the warehouse and stuff. It bugs the crap out of me that everything has like this eerie green. Just, it gives me the impression that this whole area is toxic. That's the harbor master. I assume that is if we were to go back.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on,
There's nothing for you here either.
You'll see what a
Beat
true
it.
sailor's got in his belly.
Alright.
You bilge rats don't scare me.
What did he call us?
Well, if you guys want to beat each other up, that's just fine by me. I was just gonna walk around, but I guess not. So it is, I guess the game, at least at the beginning here, is linear in that it doesn't let you go places until you have specific information, so I guess we'll take a look around. I mean, they did fantastic with the atmosphere and whatnot. Why does that look like fucking ass? Also, technically, like, I should have fallen through these floorboards 100 times by now. Oh, I'm sure he saw me, like, walk around the whole thing. Whoops.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Okay, so the terms of our agreement are clear. Keep your men under control. You cannot afford to provoke us. No need to answer this message. Just make your payment to the carrier, Cat. A crinkled letter. So this obviously, like, was crinkled up and thrown in the garbage and then taken later as potential evidence, I guess. Which wouldn't surprise me.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Oh, okay. I guess that would be fishing. Gotcha.
A souvenir from a more prosperous era. I guess this blackboard hasn't been wiped for more than 70 years.
Wow. And it would have talked about, like, how many whales, the different types of whales, probably tracking, like, where they would go.
The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor.
Mighty prosperous ship. Ooh. Excellent. Part 2 of medicine. This will come in handy. So, we've made some more progress towards that, so that's good. Alright, so I'm not going to go up the stairs yet. We'll see what he has to... What in the hell?
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed.
Oh.
When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Sure. Thanks, Captain.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Okay, so only a few dates are still legible, 1890, 1907, and a partial date. The rest of the document is blacked out. Who would want this information to be hidden? Well, actually, that would make a lot of sense. If it was illegal for them to have that massive whale, like if that was the thing that ended like fishing and the whale hunting business for them, and the government put a ban or a stop on this kind of behavior because they went after, you know, an endangered species or anything like that, I could see that being a reason. If there's documentation of the fact that some of these whales may have been poisoned or anything like that, and it was a threat to society, they may have stopped all hunting as well. And if there is a way you could trace back to who would have done such a thing, documentation like this would have been key in that investigation. And because this is an older case, it'll be harder to track down who was responsible for what or who was in charge. You could potentially look at corruption. You know, just there's a number of different things you could ascertain just based on that. So oh, there's... okay. Weirdly, we leave candles going upstairs for reasons. A map, a whole bunch of souvenirs from the ocean. You can actually, like, see straight down to the door. Ah, cool. Okay. What's
this
this?
Man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Oh, wow. This guy has a peg leg. The original. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I had to. Oh, okay. Fascinating. Okay, so
What a
this...
macabre souvenir.
You kept the peg... I mean, hey, like, all you have to do is, you know, wash it, treat it, and then you can use it for someone else if they lost their leg. I imagine that just because a person might have an amputated arm or leg or something, that they don't just throw the piece out. Like, that can be reused.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
No. So we can ask about a number of things. We can talk about Darkwater in general. We can ask him about the warehouse. We can ask him about the documents that he provided us. So there's a number of different ways. And as we know previously, that we will have ability to ask all of these things before we leave. And I'm glad that we did manage to unlock this answer. And the reason for that is, again, if you've played Vampire, there are a number of clues and such, or a number of dialogue progression bits that you can only get if you have found or talked to other people. And if you choose the path of, like, eating and killing everybody, then you're not going to get the information about different people to determine, you know, if they are good or not. And it's very interesting and very cool how they do that. And so I'm glad that here is another game, you know, published by Focus Home Interactive that gives you that same thing where you can benefit from exploring and asking more questions and looking around. So let's first talk about Darkwater. Let's talk about the catch.
Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailors' return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
I already did that. Okay, so let's talk about the killer whale that the cop seems so adamant on throwing back in the water because he's a dumbass.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Yeah, okay, what would have killed it?
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Ha, indeed, you're right.
I am not really familiar with that. But that also doesn't really answer the question. Like, it's very clear that something different killed that killer whale, and the fact that it had the capabilities of killing that killer whale is a separate thing entirely. So, yeah, I still have questions.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least.
Yes, I agree with myself, actually. Okay, so we've asked about those, so let's...
I was looking at your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Oh.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I mean, we wouldn't not have seen it because we got the photograph.
I found a threatening letter signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
She terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, so I wonder if Cat is the one that's in the whale, in the bar. Alright, so let's talk about the warehouse.
I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Cool.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
Cat. What do we want to answer here? If we lie, he might give us a giant bit of backstory that might actually help us. But then also if we lie, because he's been captain for so long and dealing with crazy creatures and people that live here, he might be have an innate ability to see through anybody that lies, so therefore he would then not respect me if I were to choose that. If I say you underestimate me, he might take that like it's a threat or something like that. Same sort of goes for, is this a game for you? That seems like it wouldn't go so well. Or I can tell him what I do know, and then go with it, which might actually be the best answer, in my opinion.
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely. Ship owners from father to son.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse.
Okay, well, sure. That told us nothing. Alright, so, your documents are unreadable.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
Probably. Actually, these answers, it makes me think about the idea that maybe they were trying to hide the fact that even though they were told to stop fishing, that maybe they kept going anyways and stirred up some shit. Again, fishermen are extremely superstitious, and if they found something, even being told not to continue, that might prompt them to hide any information regarding it. But I don't know why people wouldn't have found out about it, because there would be more records and documentation if people went missing. And there was no sort of storm to tell people why, then wouldn't they assume that something awful happened? A number of awful things, I suppose? More questions. This is what this leads me to. Alright, so I don't like how, I don't know. It's just weird how it does that. You have to be like so far up to still get there if you're like far out. Strange. Okay, so. Let's go with what did he really do? Because he has said that nothing passes him. So he probably knows more about what Charles Hawkins actually did.
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
Are you sure?
Where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
Exactly.
With whom, I wonder?
Yeah, so that's what I assumed, is that certain questions will take away...
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
No. So now we have to get in there. And now we have a bit more... We have some more, character points to go with. Yeah, I'll do that. If I'm going to be talking to some people a bit more for clues and stuff, I want to be able to influence people in case they decide to do something weird. He's 45. He is an old man in this time. It looks like I can walk through there now. And those guys are all going for a drink. Okay, some of them are.
There's something coming. Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy. They're cops. They can't understand. Damn stupid idiots. Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway. That's no way to treat an omen. Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble.
You're fishing, my guy? Are you psycho? Okay, so... Strange, there's like markings and stuff here. Is that how they marked statues back then? Oh, okay, so it's locked. That's fair. Alright. So nothing super useful here. Like, I've never really been on the docks of any place. I have always lived in city. So I have no frame of reference of what, like, how things would be normally arranged.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the Navigator.
Yeah.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to dark water?
Alright, let's find out about...
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Fair.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
I mean, good reason.
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
No.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
I knew it.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
No.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
Uh-huh.
I've
So,
taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
alright, so let's go see if we can get more information from that statue. Like, there are specific, like, occult rune-looking things on it. Like, that's not normal.
St. Brendan. Patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in.
Yet. Huh. Alright, so obviously our occult is not high enough. That's fine. I mean, we just came here. We're not expected to know everything.
If it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks.
Not even. And don't go looking there.
Oh, we'll leave them alone for now. This guy.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
Me. I'm an investigator, you jackass.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable,
Oh.
especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Oh, well and good, but I must get in
again.
here.
I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
Alright, fine. So we're gonna have to find some alternate way. Which is sort of what I expected to begin with. They never make it easy, just walk on in.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
You shysters. It cracks me up. So there is a guy still there. Yeah, so we can go around. Anything in this car? No, you just are here to block us from the rest of the world. Alright. A lever. Yeah, is this an actual puzzle
A
that...
handle. It must come from these old winches.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to move that around. A ratchet device? Okay.
This ratchet device seems to be usable. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
Well, alright.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't going to tell me anything useful.
I could use this old winch to lift the grating.
Yeah, so I'm probably missing one more piece. And I say one more piece because there was sort of a middle section in that dialogue box. And it only flashes when you get close to it. So it flashes at the same speed. Okay, so oh, I know I could do that before. I was just trying to blindly click. Alright, I'm thinking I might have to go up. Because I can't pick up the chain. Can we go across this at all? No. Huh, it's kind of cool that that does that. But I do not see anything we can click on. I also don't know if there's something that I'm supposed to, like, burn away, if that makes sense. Ah.
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch.
Perfect. Hopefully that is... Oh, well, it gives me a check mark, so... I hit the wrong button 3 times.
Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle.
Yeah.
Damn, I broke it.
So... if that is now broken... did it move it at all? Doesn't look like it. So, if I have broken the thing, then I don't think I can go this way because I don't have enough strength. And there's nothing that we can do to fix it either, it looks like. That's disappointing. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we can do here.
Well, well. A little mouse has got lost on our turf.
Oh,
You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, Detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Kat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Well then.
Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
I did say that she was going to be
I'm
tough
getting
as nails.
careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm going to have to deal with her.
Well then. Alright, well, we've been beaten. We've been prevented from doing what we wanted to do. I'm thinking here's a good point to call it for this Let's Play. I think we're gonna have to come to an understanding with this cat character and then figure out if we can get into that warehouse and why is she stopping us from getting there, and does she know something more about the Hawkins case than she lets on? If this is her turf, I have a lot of questions about it. So, we'll see what happens during the next playthrough. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me on this Let's Play sort of thing through Call of Cthulhu, and I'll be back hopefully with another session in a week or two. I'm going to do another Let's Play of a different game as well in between. So we're gonna have lots of content for you guys coming down the pipeline. But in the meantime, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.